Good morning. First, if I can ask you to tell us your name and where you're from.
My name's Tom Strous, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio, or Worthington, which is on the north side of Columbus.
All right, and then what group are you
I'm
associated
part
with?
of the U.S. Second Artillery Cushing's Company, and we're the Omaha Volunteers for Fort Meigs. That's the Old Northwest Military History Association.
And then that gun you're leaning on, is that representative of what the U.S. Army had when they were in the field during the War of 1812?
This is a 6 pounder. This is the most common gun that was used during the War of 1812. We have this gun, and then we have a variety of others on the site. This is our unit's gun, and this is one of the pieces that I maintain and take care of, not only back at Fort Meigs, but also in the field. Sometimes we have to do repairs and take care of this to make sure that we can perform in our battles.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Tom, so what's this here?
This is an ammunition wagon or caisson. These carried the round shot or the powder. It wasn't an either or. There was one that carried the shot, and then there was another that carried the powder. So there was two of these with every gun. So in a typical company, if there was 6 guns, there were 12 of these wagons that would follow through. This is able to carry 150 round shot for the 6 pounder, and then all the powder for that. This piece took me about 6 months to research, and then took me about 5 months to build. And it is pretty close to being fully to the specs and exact. This is about 1,000 pounds of weight without anything in it. And then you would add in the 150 6-pound shot. So you're talking close to 1,700 to 2,000 pounds. And then to pull it, you would have four to 6 horses. So this is a very, very long wagon train of equipment that would be following the Army.
And then when we were chatting earlier, I think you mentioned then the infantry might have something similar with all their cartridges.
Correct. Yeah, these were not only used with the guns. They were kind of a general piece of equipment that we could use to carry a lot of different items, such as the infantry's cartridges. And one of these could hold 15,000 cartridge rounds for the infantry. The artificers, such as myself, would have equipment and tools. So the carpenters, the wheelwrights, or the tinsmiths, or the engineers. There was one that was carrying the chemistry equipment to do the bombs, the fuses, and things that needed to be mixed up. So they're a really general purpose piece of equipment.
So you just said artificer. What is that? What is that role?
So the artificer is the skilled tradesman for the military, and by 1812, the Army decided that they weren't going to do contract work with skilled tradesmen, so they just outright hired skilled tradesmen such as a blacksmith, wheelwrights, tinsmiths, leather workers, coopers, and their job was to fix and maintain things.
And then would you have a rank in the Army, or were you sort of like civilian employees of the Army?
More civilian employees. We had privileges. We did not have rank. Our title was artificer. It'd be more like a modern specialist in the Army. And we just did our role. We didn't have to drill. We didn't have to wear uniforms. We didn't have to march or fight. Our job all the time was to do the work to make sure that everything was working.
Awesome. All right, Mr. Artificer, what do we have here?
This is an 1812 traveling forge. As far as I know, the only one in existence. It is a reproduction. We don't have any museum examples, so I had to do a lot of research to figure this out. Basically, we have our fire hearth here, and then we have our bellows. Pull on this, gives us air into our fire. And then we have our toolbox in the back. We have space in the front where we're going to put our box of charcoal. So that sits up here. And then all the tools come off of the racks, and it goes into the box back there. The whole idea is that everything can be loaded up onto the cart and maybe in a wagon as well, an ammunition wagon, to be transported to the next site.
So, what sort of things would you use the forge for?
We use it to make field repairs. So if something breaks, like just yesterday, I had to make some pins, and we've had to create tools to get stuff out. I've had a gun crew, not one of ours, but a gun crew, got a sponge ram cover stuck in the barrel, and they couldn't get it out. So I came over and I forged this tool right here. Had a really sharp hook on it, and it was bent backwards so that when we inserted it in, it would snag that sheepskin and pulled it right out.
Oh, how awesome. All right, Tom, what do we have going on here?
So this is Chuck. We kind of refer to Chuck as kind of a singular. Chuck is our mascot for Fort Meigs. There was a British officer that was quoted as saying it is a waste of powder and shot to fire at that fort. I can compare the Americans to an army of groundhogs. We're not quite sure where the quote came from, but we thought that having a groundhog would be a neat little mascot. We have T-shirts that say we give a Chuck about history. So then the Artificer, or the artillery Chuck, appeared, and we've got his coatee just like in his uniform, all like the rest of the artillerists. And then our second Chuck was our civilian Chuck, and he represents when we're doing civilian things. He's all dressed up in his nice tailcoat, and with a groundhog, he really does have a tail coat. And then we also have our Artificer Chuck, which he represents my place in this unit. And then we also have a camp follower.
What fun. And then what are they doing around their table there? Is that representative of what happened last
They may
night?
be playing a dice game, or drinking some coffee because it's nice in the early morning. So yeah, they like to go around and visit all the other units.
Well, thank you for your time. Very much appreciated. Fascinating and incredible, the work that you do. So
Thank you.